Hello and welcome to another episode of the Meet and Greet BBQ podcast. This week we've got Lumberjaxe Food Company coming on board to speak to us all about the rubs that they do and also other plans they have further down the line. It's fantastic for us to speak to real food scientists about making the best products for barbecue. So without much further ado, here's Jayden and Brendon. So welcome Lumberjaxe Food Company, or Lumberjaxe Rubs Foods, however you want to be said. So thank you so much for coming on to the Meet and Greet BBQ podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself to all of our listeners?
Yeah, so I'm Brendon.
I'm Jayden.
And thank you so much for coming on, and we're really excited to have two people who are passionate enough about barbecue that they've started making rubs. What could be more exciting for us than talking to scientists of food? That's what I'm really excited to hear about. So first and foremost, how did you get into barbecuing?
Go on, you go.
So basically, we've always done barbecue as a family, and you know, we'd always sort of. My granddad would check the weather forecast and announce that he's doing a barbecue, and the whole family would lamb round my nan and granddad's house, and he'd have these quirky little ways of how he does things like beer on chicken and so on and so forth. Very old school, I suppose. He's got a brick built grill, charcoal, just put a little door on there to store his stuff, and we just enjoyed, you know, the coming together of the family and things like that. So it was that's what sparked the interest, I suppose.
I think for me as well, it's sort of obviously me and Brendon are brothers, so in a sense, because he's a lot older than me, he's been my wingman in a sense. So he's the person who's really brought it to life. Teach me everything that I need to know about barbecue, and like it's me and him that have really experienced it together. So really, Brendon's the one who's brought me into it, and it's become now obviously a big part of my life.
So from that point of view, has the protege taken over the mentor? How is that all standing?
But if we're being perfectly honest, Jayden's the brains behind the operation. You know, he does a lot of the sort of background work in regards to the legalities and, you know, financial stuff, and sort of I'll sort of throw an idea out. He'll tell me whether it's no good or not.
I think we're a good split. It's 50-50 in terms of Brendon's a lot more creative than I am, so he's a lot more better at making the labels, making the Instagram look good. When it comes to designing the website, like that for me, I won't be able to do it on my own. But I think I'm more better at like running the numbers, running the business, creating plans for the business, all of that essentially. So it's a good 50-50 split, I think.
I mean, the fact that you two have obviously got strengths, you know, or different strengths, obviously has allowed obviously the company to grow. Am I right in saying that this is still actually a fairly new venture for you guys, that you've kind of taken a passion into a business?
It is. I mean, we've dabbled around with things in the past when it comes to business, and we knew that we wanted to start a business together. And I remember actually we used to go on walks around a few affluent areas just to get a bit of motivation. And we were deciding for ages what business can we come up with. And we thought, well, what's passionate for us? And we realised it's what we've been doing, food, barbecue, the whole lot. Let's just bring it together. And at the time, I sort of thought, what a crowded market. And I thought, well, hold on a minute. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, if we're passionate about it and we want to start a business, that's the number one ingredient you need, really.
We sort of looked at 9 or 10 other ideas and things that we wanted to, you know, maybe spark a business in. And what we actually didn't anticipate, that the thing that we should have been looking at was actually staring us right in the face.
Yeah.
Not that anyone can do it. Do you know what I mean? Not that anyone can do it. It takes a lot of nuance and passion, and no one else should go and start making their own rubs.
And I think, and I think that's what, you know, having the passion for it, like Jayden said, that's the number one ingredient. You know, that's a very good start. And you're only going to make something as good as it can be if you're passionate about it, right? So,
and I thought myself, oh, I'll give it a go. It'll probably get nowhere in 6 months, and I'll be on to the next thing. And then all of a sudden, in a month, we're seeing a lot of good interactions. Then 2 months down the line, then 3 months down the line. Now we're 9-10 months down the line with almost 10 rubs, salts. You know, a good following on Instagram. Like sometimes me and Brendon have to take a step back and think, hold on a minute, look at how far we've come in a short amount of time. Because every Monday we want to do this, and this, and we're trying to go 150,000 miles an hour. But obviously, every now and then we just need to step back and go, I mean, it's only been 9-10 months, and we've come such a long way.
I mean, to be fair, it just feels, obviously being part of the Instagram community and, doing the podcast over the last, 4 or 5 months for us. I mean, we've actually interviewed a couple of your ambassadors, Grill Ben. Yeah. So he obviously spoke, very highly about your brand and your rubs. And I believe we actually spoke to Boss Hog Barbecue. I believe he's also another one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we literally spoke to him a couple of days ago. So that episode will be coming out in a couple of weeks. So
he's a great guy as well, Rob is.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, he's got his own venture that's upcoming as well. So that's really exciting. And I think that's the thing out of the last 18 months is that actually there's a lot of entrepreneurship that's happening around UK barbecue, isn't there? And you just feel like you're more established. It just feels like the Lumberjaxe brand has been around for longer than 9-10 months, which is a good thing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to hear. Definitely.
And am I right? Go on.
I think you've banged it on the head with the approach we were coming for, making it in terms of like sort of a brand, like a homemade sense, but professional brand is what we were trying to nail on.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear that that's what's coming across as, essentially.
Definitely. Well, yeah, I certainly think so. And am I right in saying that I've just seen recently that you're launching a new rub or a couple of rubs? Is a masala?
Yeah. So to be honest, we started. Again, this time Jayden threw out an idea, and I went, yeah, let's run with that. So what happened was we sort of, our sort of branding, Lumberjack and stuff. It's very, quite niche, and we sort of wanted a way to sort of venture out and do like products that are maybe from different countries, and make it in a sense make sense for a lumberjack to bring out a jerk rub, for example, like we did. So what we did was we did our Hank Around the World series, where we was doing one a month. We initially stated we're going to do 12. What's happened is the business has sort of grown that quick. We didn't anticipate we'd be as busy as we are. So we're going to bringing these two rubs out now, which is Tandoori Masala and Chiang Mai Thai. And then we're going to have a break from the Hank Around the World, because that'll bring it to 6 then. So we're halfway through that series. And then sort of perhaps through the winter period that, we will then look to do the other 6.
Yeah.
Has it been well received so far? Is he actually launched yet? Those 2 new ones?
No. So we've sent samples out to our ambassadors. So they're all going to sort of use it and things like that. We initially anticipated we was going to bring it out on Sunday, but obviously with England and things like that, it just don't make sense to do that now. So we're going to push that back to probably midweek now.
Yeah,
and let everyone recover.
As I say, if it's not football, no one's interested at the moment, are they? It's taking over the world.
I mean, we like our products, but we appreciate that England being in the final, no one's gonna take it. That everyone's gonna be too hungover to care, probably.
Yeah.
So, do you? Where's the inspiration come from for yourselves making these products and coming up with these ideas? Is it from your own travels or experiences, or just what's your inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it started with my granddad and doing the barbecues and stuff like that, and then we sort of we'd sort of make our own rubs and products, and well, not products at the time. We'd rustle up a rub and we'd use it, and then we'd like it, and then the next time we'd be like, remember that rub we did? How can we make that better? And we'd sort of do that. And then I took my wife and children to Florida, 2019, and obviously America just knows how to do food in general, and that sort of then it really sparked an interest. I mean, we both listen to country music and things like that. And that just that in general, really.
Yeah, I think it was about seeing what was happening in America and thinking, hold on a minute, we can do that. Mm-hmm. It's not just exclusive. So definitely in the beginning, it was about bringing that American feel into the UK and what they've got going on there. And now it's just grew to...
Yeah. To be honest, what I quite like about the British barbecue scene is we seem to be a lot more, dare I say, open to actually doing different cuisines on the barbecue. So American barbecue, obviously brisket, ribs, things like that. But, we're open to sort of, if you've only got to look on Instagram, you've got people doing like meatballs on a barbecue, you've got people making calzones, you've got all sorts of different cuisines, and cast iron pan, let's get some noodles on the go. One of our
very diverse cooking.
One of our ambassadors made a spaghetti bolognese and used our sweet barbecue rub in there, and I thought that was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, obviously American barbecue is awesome, right? There is nothing better than long, slow meats that fall off the bone, and briskets are obviously amazing. But I think we're very good at that diversity. I think in generally in British food culture anyway, I think we're quite good at embracing other cultures, but we just happen to be placing everything on the barbecue now, which is just making it 10 times better.
It's easy to embrace after the empire, isn't it? After we've gone everywhere and taken all our favourite foods from everywhere and said, right, this is us, this is our cuisine. But it's a bit different from that American history, I suppose, with barbecue, but it's an advantage that we have all these different flavours to play with, surely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of our brand ambassadors, Ross, he entered a competition and actually cooked a cheesecake on the barbecue. Now, if that ain't versatile, I don't know what is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of our guests, Alfie King, who's 12, that we interviewed a couple of weeks ago.
Alfie,
he's got such a bright future in barbecue. His barbecue bingo challenge was to do a baked cheesecake. I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram. He did it yesterday, and fair play.
He's put us to shame.
It looked shop quality. It looked that good. It was shop quality. Like,
if he comes on again, we'll fix it. So his barbecue bingo will be super noodles. All right, do that, Alfie.
So what's kind of next for you guys then? Like you said, you're in your first year of business, but it's I think you've already said it's taken you by surprise at just the kind of level of interest that you're having. Where's the next steps for you as a brand?
I think we want to move towards not just a rub company. We don't just want to be rubs and salts and all that. We want to become an established barbecue company.
Yeah,
selling all things barbecue, and I think that's the message we want to be bringing across. That it's not just like I said, it's not just a rub company. It's what you'd use in a standard everyday kitchen, just sort of that everyday kitchen brand name that you'd think of.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing for us was when we actually named it Lumberjaxe. We could have called it Lumberjaxe rubs and sauces, but we chose Food Company because, again, it gives us a bit of a broader outlook and reach, and there's many avenues we can take that. I mean, one major thing for us that's in the pipeline is, and again, this was sort of a decision based on how well it was going. We've actually got 3 sauces ready and waiting in the pipeline that we was going to release. Now we feel that we've broadened our range quite quickly, so we're actually going to postpone the release of that probably until next year. Just so if we bring like you say, if we bring that out this year and not rush it, but sort of bring it out quickly, then what is next? You know, how do we amplify what we've done this year next year? So
yeah, I think as well, it's about using this time, especially over the winter, to perfect what we've already got and make sure everything that, you know, we've got a tick list that's probably, I can make a scroll out of it if I wanted to. So just ticking off everything that we want to do, perfecting everything that we've got. You know, what are we missing in terms of what we've already brought out? What's the gaps that we need to fill? How shall we grow the business? And I think we've took a step now where it's right. It was just produce, new product. I think we just need to take a step back now, look over the course of 1 year, and I think it's just time to start sort of marketing the business, growing the business, like, you know, joining different podcasts. Let's do more lives, let's do more reels, let's do way more Instagram posts, let's just get way more involved, because like to be honest, all of our time was just taken up with what's the next anchor on the world, what's the next rub, what's the next salt. You know, we did the 3 sources that we want to bring out. So all of our time was just taken up with producing, and we just want to make sure now, let's do what the business does best, start interacting, sort of like, I don't know, like I know you get what I'm saying, but just really being involved with the community now.
We sort of had a million and one things ready waiting in the pipeline, and we've sort of hit that point now where we're like, okay, so we've done the 6 anchor around the world. Let's actually now pause at what we've got, embrace what we've got, sort of, you know, like chat to people and sort of like get involved in the community more. And, you know,
I think as well.
So it's like being more personal than just product based.
Yeah, like ultimately, you know, and I'd like to think that as the company grows, this will remain the same. I want people to feel that if they are messaging the page, they're getting a reply off me or Jayden. They're not speaking to someone that isn't involved in the company. If they want to ask us anything, we will give them an honest answer to the best of our knowledge, and they're actually speaking direct to us. Like Jayden said earlier, you know, we want to be sort of a family-friendly business, and that's like a bit like, you know, a home feel, and not this big. You know, we don't want to be this big business that people are a bit alienated from.
Yeah, and I think as well, I was scrolling through the Instagram and I thought, well, if you never watched our lives, you wouldn't really know who we are. And I think involving us more on the posts and showing our faces more, I think it just brings that connection. We sort of feel we're not just here, although we are a business and, you know, we've got our products and things like that. We're not just here to sell you a rub, see you later. We're very passionate and involved in barbecue, and we love what we do. And we just want that to sort of be received by our customers, I suppose.
So one of the things I was interested to know, and I don't know if this is coincidence or by design, but obviously you've got a pretty memorable logo with the old lumberjack and his jacket. We've noticed that a couple of the ambassadors that you have look fairly similar to said logo. Is that a coincidence, or are you specifically looking to get out there and find people that look? It's Hank, isn't it? It's Hank.
Yeah, purely coincidence that is. I mean, we're about to, like, we've got some hats done, and sort of we was looking for a model, you know, do some pictures for the website and stuff. And me and Jayden was talking, and my mum was chatting and stuff in the background. And she went, "Well, what do you want your model to look like?" I went, "Big built, ginger, beard." And she went, "Just look in the mirror." So there's a fair few Hank lookalikes on Instagram, I suppose.
Barbecue, right? That's what barbecue's about. You slowly morph into that dream, and that is the dream. Hank is the dream.
If he had a beer in his hand, he'd be there.
He'll be there.
So, what I'm interested to know is, obviously, when you're not doing the business and you're actually getting out yourselves and cooking, what would you say is your ultimate barbecue meal? What would be the perfect, perfect courses for you?
Perfect courses.
I was pretty basic in the beginning, and I would, if I got asked that question, I would have said something like fajita wraps. And then I looked at everybody's posts on Instagram, and I thought, hold on a minute, what century am I living in? Because I must be living in the 1900s. Everyone else is cooking amazing meals, and I'm eating my fajita wraps in the background.
Jayden was very vanilla to start with.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm a bit of a wing man. I love wings. So yeah, I think my ultimate meal off a barbecue would be just an absolute mountain of wings.
Are you
Most I've ever done.
Sauce?
Most I've ever done is 50. Do you reckon you could do 50?
Well, I actually had this conversation with someone before, and I said, if you was literally to eat wings to the point that you couldn't eat no more, how many do you think you'd do? And my answer was 50.
Well, mine was 40, and it was an effort to get to the 50 mark. There's a place in I used to do a lot of food challenges, and there's a place in Ipswich called the Plough, and I was looking at the menu, and I hadn't planned to do anything, and it was something like 5 wings for £3, 7 wings for £7, 20 wings for 10, or 50 for 12. I was like, who's not going for the 12, right? £12 for 50. And they brought it over, and the staff were kind of laughing at me. I was with a friend. I was like, well, you're going to have to watch this now. So smashed through this pile of wings, and I might have the picture somewhere, so I might have to put on Instagram at some point. And yeah, I got to 40, and I was like, oh, this is a huge mistake. What have I done with my life? And it's bad when you go right to finish this, I'm going to have to squeeze the fat out. Do you know what I mean? Really make it so it's just the meat. Yeah. And at the end, when they came to collect the bones, there was a mixture. So it was like a wing roulette. So it was everything from like sweet sticky barbecue to what they called hellfire, which I think was like habanero or something. When they came to collect it, I said, has anyone ever done that before? And they're like, no, of course they haven't. I went, oh, well, would you name it after me as a challenge? Then no, I just walked off. I was like, oh, I've achieved nothing here.
You wanted the whole T-shirt picture on the wall.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking 50 wings. That feels like it should be a proper food challenge, not a platter. They'd never considered people would be tempted to. Well, I say people. I was the only person who's ever done it, apparently. But 50 wings for £12. But I can understand that mountain of wings, right? It's a beautiful thing when you see that sort of thing in front of you.
Yeah.
Are you a hot wings? Hot wings guy. Hot wings, or are you?
Yeah, I'm a bit of both, really. I find with hot wings, the heat builds up on you, right? So, for argument's sake, if you're doing 50 hot wings, by the 50th one, you probably want to pass out. But if you've got a mixture, I just find if you have a mixture of wings, hot and sort of barbecues, sweet, that's the perfect scenario.
Great.
I'm guessing a hot chili sauce is coming then.
Say no more.
We'll see.
Great. So, what would you say is your go-to barbecue to cook said wings? Have you got a particular barbecue you use?
Yeah. So at the moment, I've got a Napoleon Pro 22. I mean the Beard and Barbecue _ is a good friend of mine from school. He's sort of cooking on a Primo. And I mean, I love the look of the Primo. It's like black in design, it's oval, not circle. So that's really nice. I mean, I think that would be my go-to grill, the Primo.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
I've heard. I don't know much about Napoleon.
Yeah.
I think again, Grill Ben, your ambassador's got a Napoleon, and that he was talking about his setup. I think he might have a Primo.
Isn't it a Kamado? I think it's a Kamado, is it not? The big ceramic circular type thing.
Yes, you've got Kamado,
yeah.
that's the red one, and then you've got a Primo. They're built in the States, so it's the same ceramic grill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I got that wrong.
Yeah, they're really nice.
I've done a lot of looking into those things recently, so I was like, yeah, I'm sure I know what that is.
Yeah, I mean the Napoleon's great, to be honest. I mean the grill on it's absolutely amazing. But the reason I went for that is it was a toss up between that or a Weber, and then our store locally, like the local one to us in Solihull, Barbecue Store UK. We've got a great relationship with Paul now. He was one of the first to sort of do a wholesale order off us.
Yeah. In the beginning.
And me and Jayden just looked at each other and was like, have we just actually done that?
Yeah.
And we've got a brilliant relationship with him. We're going to do some demos and stuff. And I basically said to him, which one would you recommend? And he said, I stuck Napoleon because I think they're better. I was like, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Have you got a different barbecue yourself, Jayden? Have you got a Napoleon as well?
Well, Brendon is where basically my home is. Whatever grill is on is whatever grill I'm on.
Yeah.
It's a good setup.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely. I mean, what I love about the barbecue community and sort of, barbecue in general is everyone's got a preference. So I know, like Ross, again, our ambassador, he loves Kamado Joe, loves it.
I still think they're quite good.
Yeah, they're nice to be honest. He's got his own little punches the latch and then open and then all his food's in there with loads of smoke.
Yeah.
That's and then the pellet grills, the convenience of a pellet grill is absolutely amazing. Sort of just with those, it's very hands off, I suppose. But if you've got sort of a charcoal grill or a ceramic grill, but then you have got a pellet grill, you've sort of got the best of both worlds. Because let's face it, we've all got lives to live. You can't always tend to a fire, so they're just great for convenience, I suppose.
Yeah, we've spent a bit of time talking about pellet grills in previous episodes in the first season, where we were talking about technology and how much the use of technology in barbecue, when's too much, where it takes the fun away. But there is something very tempting around a pellet grill, and it's something I've spoken to Dan about, that I like to collect them, and I've got a few, and I want to get a live fire cage next, but also a pellet grill is definitely something just for that convenience.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest in saying the pellet grill is probably my next purchase because, around the family and things like that, I've got children. It just makes sense to do it. Although it is nice to sort of, deal with the cold and tend the fire and things like that, it's the world runs at such a fast pace now. It is great to have that sort of option if you need it. Jamie Beard and Barbecue in the School was saying, how we can operate it on his phone, put something in there, go to work.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. When the world goes back to normal, being able to put beef shorties on there before you leave. Yeah. And you can literally track the cook on your phone. You're like, oh, bring that down a little bit, sort that out. And the fact that it'll be ready when you get home is mind-blowing. Yeah.
See, my wife loves a slow cooker because she can just throw it in there, go to work, and dinner's ready when she's home. So to me, a pellet grill is like a bearded barbecue man's slow cooker.
Yeah,
definitely. Have you decided which one you're going to go for?
I haven't as of yet. I mean,
get some more. That's what everyone else thinks.
Yeah. So again, like Paul's very knowledgeable about grills and things like that. So I'll just, if I'm being honest, it'll be in his hands. I'll just go down and say, which one do you think I should be buying? And he'll go that one.
If only every purchase could be that easy, right?
That's it, mate. Yeah.
I like the look of the Masterbuilts. They've got some that are like charcoal fed in almost like what feels like a pellet style, which I believe is what 256 has got, right? Ross at 256. So it's not actually a pellet grill. You put the charcoal in, but it is still fed through a chute, and you still do it the same sort of way. So it's kind of, I would say, like a halfway house between the two. And sometimes you hear people say the thing with pellets is you don't get the charcoal flavor, which I'm assuming you would from that. But I bet you get through a hell of a lot more charcoal than you would pellets.
Yeah. I mean, the range of pellets that you can buy is quite good now. You know, you can pick sort of flavour of pellets. I mean, Green Mountain grills would be sort of something I would look at. Again, being honest, I haven't really delved enough into it to give an honest answer of what I would like to go for. But Green Mountain is definitely one I'd look at. The Traeger, as always. Yeah, I mean,
Traegers are so popular, aren't they? Like, I think Traeger's a go-to. I'm thinking about a Broil King, one of the Broil King ones.
I've heard great things about Broil King as well. To be honest, Rob Bosshog, sorry, he deals with Broil King. I believe he's a brand ambassador for them as well, isn't it? Or is that the 45, the barrel?
He's got he said he's got a 45 as well.
Yeah, they look cool as well, to be honest. I mean, some of the stuff they did. I seen a post that did a Tyson Fury 45 barrel grill, and it was black and yellow Fury on it. I thought, yeah, nice.
Definitely. On the 20th to the 22nd of August, the UK's largest barbecue festival will be hitting Colchester for 3 days of all things grilling, music, and family fun. And if that wasn't enough, the British Barbecue Open Championships will be held there, where teams will compete in numerous rounds of barbecue classics for the panel of judges to crown the best British barbecue team.
To find out more and get your tickets, visit smokeandfirefestival.com/tickets. We can't wait to see you there.
So, one of the things that we hold very dear here at the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast is barbecue fails. Some of the things that didn't quite go to plan, perhaps didn't make any Instagram accounts or social media accounts or YouTube videos. What have you guys got any barbecue fails to share with us?
Yeah, so if you just bear with me, I'm sure it was Granite Smoke that did this. Let me just double check.
I love it when there's props. That's my favourite thing. We haven't had a proper barbecue fail yet with props, but I'm loving the fact you're like, right, I need to get through the right documentation to get this correct.
Yeah. So the Granite Smoke made a burger, and he used our buffalo rub, and he crunched up the chili heatwave Doritos and made a burger. Now, this was his burger.
Wow, okay. Yeah,
it's very good.
Very nice. So my daughter seen that, and she's a massive Doritos chili heatwave fan, and was like, "Dad, can we have it? Dad, can we have it?" And by the time I'd finished, there was no Doritos on the chicken, and she just got this pathetic, unseasoned lump of chicken that on a burger, and she just went, "Don't look like the picture, Dad." And I was like,
that is the worst feeling in the world when a child says that to you, isn't it? God.
It was a massive disappointment. I mean, even I looked and I thought, nowhere near like the picture. It had no Doritos. I may as well have just given her a bag of Doritos for dinner, and she'd have probably been happier.
That's the beauty of children as well, isn't it? They're so brutal. Like when they're giving you feedback, yeah. So what went wrong?
Just the coverage. You know, I did the whole crunch them up, egg, flour, things like that. I don't know what it was. I just could not get them to stick to this chicken. I could not do it. And every time I moved them slightly, I tried not to touch them as much. Every time I moved them, it was like what's it called, a snowfall thing?
Avalanche.
Snowfall. Avalanche. That's the word. It was like an avalanche of Doritos that just fell off the chicken into the grill, and I was like, "Yeah." My wife's going, "Just don't touch them no more." I was like, "They're gonna burn," and then it was just the biggest disaster known to man.
So I know the answer to this, but has your daughter asked you to make them again?
No. She's steaming well away.
She stopped telling you things she likes now in case you try and cook anything else. She's like, I don't like anything.
Yeah.
I don't like anything. Don't try anything different.
Yeah. I tend to I just don't tell them what I'm cooking now in case I have another disaster.
Yeah.
When it's pulled off, I'll just put it in front of them and they're happy. But Dorito, chili heat wave Doritos are staying well away from my barbecue from now on.
Are your family quite into your barbecue journey? Do they like barbecue food? Are they quite happy to be eating barbecue quite a lot?
Yeah, they do. They enjoy it. I mean, it's just something different. You eat something that's been made on a barbecue, and you know where that's been cooked, and that's what I love about it. Jayden and his girlfriend will come round ours quite often, and we'll have a little get together and do food, and it's just
it is nice. It's very nice.
I think that helps, doesn't it? It helps when the people around you enjoy it as much as you do.
Yeah.
And it gives you an excuse to be out there all the time.
Yeah. I mean, my son's he's quite a foodie anyway. So like when we say bring a new product out, he's like, Dad, can we try it? Dad, can we try it? And then, like you said, kids are that blatant. If he eats it and goes, that was rank, then we are not releasing that product.
9 times out of 10 as well, he'll go, it needs more of this. I'll add that, and I'll go, oh, actually,
he was probably right.
I think he was correct.
Brilliant. So you've got your own product testers without having to go external.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when we do it, it's sort of the nan will have our nan and granddad love our jerk rub. Like they absolutely love it. And every time
I tried it and I really enjoyed it the other day. So it's good. It was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, every single time I make a new batch, she'll make sure her empty tins over so I can top it up for her.
Yeah.
Nice.
What did you make with it?
So I actually made some smash burgers. I fancied. The sample happened to arrive, and I was making burgers, and I thought, you know what, let's have a bit of a kick to this burger.
Nice.
Yeah, even my kids enjoyed it as well. So yeah, my daughter actually made the burgers herself. So I'm trying to get her into barbecue. I've bought her own little it's called a barbecue or barbie quick Billy, I think it's called. It's about that big. But yeah, so she was there. She was smashing the burgers herself, and so yeah, it was thumbs up from me and my daughter.
Perfect.
Yeah, definitely. So, in terms of the business, obviously, I've asked kind of what you're next doing, and I'm wondering for you guys trying to get out in the community that you mentioned. As not that I want to keep talking about lockdown or anything like that, but obviously, as things are kind of opening up again, are you kind of hoping to kind of get yourselves out and the brand out there actually in person, exhibiting and festivals and those types of things?
Yeah, it's every single time. So we'll have different meetings about different things. And then when we come to our sort of marketing meeting, it's the number one thing on there. And it's a shame really, because in one way we could have been 10 times ahead if there was no lockdown, because we would have been out and about cooking, farmers markets, going everywhere with it. But we've sort of been capped at how far we could go in a sense. But every single time we have a meeting about what we want to do, it's always number one. We want to be out more like in real life.
It's a bit of we started the business in a mad time, and it's a bit strange to us whereby people in Milton Keynes know about us, people in Kent know about us, people in Devon, Ireland, Scotland,
America.
Yet within our local community where we live in Birmingham,
nothing.
Nothing. There's a barbecue store obviously sell our products, and sort of they've had good feedback, and people that go there. But out of the West Midlands, we haven't been out there enough, and
it's sort of a case. It's just been difficult to do that.
It just purely because of lockdown. We've all been in the same boat. There's no events going on. No farmers markets. There's a market that we really want to go to by us in Kings Heath, and they have a really good market that we'd love to do, but they haven't been putting them on yet. there's a night market near us as well that we'd love to do, but they're just not putting them on at the moment. So as things start to open up, we'll hit that for sure.
On a similar sort of like point, now you'll start to be able to get out more, and of course over the last few weeks you've been able to cook for people more. Is that going to change how you develop the rubs and also the feedback you can get on the different things you're doing? How do you see that changing going forward?
I think the process of how we make the rubs has worked really, really well so far. And I think we're not worried to, like we've done with the 2 new rubs, to delay things and really, really wait till it's perfected. So even if our time is taken up, going out and about all the time, I feel like the process will remain the same. We'll start off with the concept, what we want to be doing. Then we'll start off with, this is batch number 1, batch number 2, batch number 3, batch number 4, batch number 5. So we went through all these iterations of what we like till we land at something new. But the best way to get to know if something's good is if you give it to somebody that doesn't know who you are, never seen you before, doesn't know your rubs. And the only way we can do that is just being out and about, giving out testers. And, I think that comes down as well to getting to know how people perceive the brand. And in a way, if we're any good, I feel like we will reach a 10 times the audience sort of going out and about and cooking.
Well, there's definitely a couple of festivals that are coming up that's definitely worth you, if you can't obviously have the opportunity to exhibit at, but definitely attend. So the Smoke and Fire Festival, who are our season 2 partners, so we've partnered up with them. That's happening on the 20th to the 22nd of August in Colchester, which was kind of where we're based in Essex. But it's a 3-day barbecue festival, basically, with music. They've got the British Barbecue Championships. They've got, eating competitions. And the Sizzle Show, the guys on Instagram?
So we sponsored the Secret Sizzle.
Yes, I saw.
So we've had a lot of dealings with James and the guys at the Sizzle Show. Yeah, so they're doing their festival, right?
Yeah. Are you going?
Well, we're just double confirming dates. Really, that's going to be the be all and end all for us. So we need to just look at the date of where that falls. But yeah, I mean, we definitely look to get down there and see the guys. And this is what I'm looking forward to as things open up. And I'm sure you guys are the same. There's been people that we've been speaking to 3 parts of a year now. Yeah. Through Instagram, and for example, like I just mentioned, the Granite Smoke. I literally know him as the Granite Smoke, and we've chatted on Instagram and communicated with each other. And when I see him, they go, "You're right," and I go, "Yeah," and they go, "The Granite Smoke." I'm gonna go, "Oh," and then you just like you guys. I feel like through doing the podcast, I know you guys are a hell of a lot better than when we was speaking on the phone and doing a text message. So.
Yeah, and that's a big thing that we've said recently as well. That we're going to be at the Sizzle Fest as well as the Smoke and Fire Festival, so we're really looking forward to actually meeting people. We've obviously spending all this. We've obviously launched a podcast during lockdown, and you can't substitute actually meeting people in person, can you? I think you will never ever go away.
Yeah, I mean, those sort of events, just being able to sort of like chat to people over a beer and sort of about a mutual sort of passion, in the environment where everything is based around your passion, I don't think you can beat that, to be honest.
I'm sure that what you've talked about, the one advantage of Zoom is the fact that we are able to have these types of conversations with people from Australia, America, Canada, which is just going to improve our kind of knowledge on food and get different perspectives. But anyone in the UK, Owen and I would much prefer to be sat in a room with a beer, not that it's stopping me now, but with a beer all together. And we can't wait to be able to actually start recording podcasts in person. That's going to make such a difference. And then to be able to see those people when we're not recording and actually talk to them and have a few drinks and just enjoy the passion of what we all love is It's going to be amazing, and it's not that far away, which feels
Yeah.
mad. Next month, do you know what I mean? Is when a lot of these festivals really start kicking off again. So everyone stay safe before then, because I will not be happy if something gets delayed. All right, that's not allowed.
Yeah, I think if the Olympics can go ahead, we can have our barbecue festival.
Yeah,
definitely. Should we go into barbecue bingo?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's give it a go.
Dan, do you want to take it away this week? I'm usually the guy that does barbecue bingo, but
so what we do is Owen has spent a lot of time putting together a beautiful fancy wheel, which I would say I shouldn't be impressed with anymore, but I am. And we have a number of different ingredients on there that we will spin the wheel and we'll ask our guests to cook whatever it lands on. And then put it on their Instagram and flag it up under hashtag barbecue bingo, and then we can all enjoy what they do. And the whole point of this is to put people out of their comfort zone, or if they get something they're used to cooking with, show off their skills and maybe inspire some people who hadn't thought of using some of these different ingredients. And the fact that you guys are food scientists makes this a lot more exciting, because you've got your own special rubs to either use with these or maybe inspire you to try something different or put out one of the new sauces. So first things first, can you see Owen's screen that he shared?
Yeah.
Perfect. Is there anything there which you are potentially allergic to? Because we've had that recently where we put peanut butter on there and we had to quickly remove it before we did it due to is anything there that would harm you by any chance?
A veggie meal. No, I'm joking.
That would harm all of us, Brendon, unfortunately.
No, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we've also put on there is my signature dish. So, or what would be your signature dish? What would you say that is? You've mentioned wings earlier, so I'm wondering if it's that, or is there something else that you're famous for?
The wings, yeah.
Yeah, probably wing based, if I'm honest.
Not fajitas.
No, we'll ditch Jayden's dodgy fajitas.
Might have to do my own.
What we'll do, we'll strip the wings, and he can have them in a fajita.
I love them.
I think that's a good compromise.
Other option is that we spin this twice, and you can both do a cook.
We've not done a double barbecue bingo before.
What would you prefer?
Go on in.
Yeah, we'll go the whole hog. Do the 2 spins. Why?
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I want to see.
Right.
All right, Jayden. Right, here we go. Ready?
I'm ready.
The tension.
Scones. Wow.
Or scones, as some people would say. So it depends where you're coming from.
Right, let me write that down.
How are you feeling about scones?
I'm feeling like I just want to run to Wimbledon.
Good answer. Right, should we go again?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, see what let's hope it's a pizza.
I'll in that as well.
Oh!
It is a pizza. There we are.
Is it? Hey, I can do pizza.
Right, scones and pizza.
Going to scones, I've had, that's literally sparked an idea for me, which I might try myself. But like, where's your brain gone to? Has your brain literally gone to, right, I'm going to bake some scones or scones on the barbecue, or are you thinking of pairing it somehow with something? What's your thought process?
My thought process is I want to do something that is a little bit outside the box.
That's exactly where my brain went. So I'll be excited to see what you come up with. I might partake this week. I've done it before. I've partaked in a barbecue bingo, and that's got my brain whirring. So
I've done scones on the barbecue. I did some cheese and Marmite scones last year when there was a virtual barbecue festival that happened during the Six Nations final weekend. And my word of advice is make sure you set the barbecue up as a 2 zone, because I just basically had some very, very, very burnt bottoms and some not so very cooked tops. They didn't rise. They actually stuck to the paper. I couldn't separate the scones from the baking paper. So definitely 2 zone it.
I got a pizza. I'm happy with that. I got a pizza stone a lot, so that'll be. I'll probably eat my pizza while Jayden's still sweating over his stone. So.
Right, you've got a pizza stone. Owen, go again now.
Are you gonna make your own dough?
Yeah, you got to do the whole shebang, haven't you? So we'll do that.
Decent.
We might serve you scones on a pizza.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Strawberries and cream as kind of the
Yeah.
sauce. I can see that working. I can see that working very well.
Could you do pizza scones? So the other way around. So you cut a scone open, it's got tomato sauce, cheese, pepperoni in the middle.
Yeah. Sounds like a shout.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say what my idea is now because I'm excited. So what I'm thinking of trying to do is, you see it. A lot of the American people are doing this, and we've started doing it over here. Is where you serve a burger in a donut.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, can I create some sort of burger or smash burger that would go well in a scone?
Mm.
So we'll see how that goes.
As per usual.
Dan's very much a sort of, close the lid and hope type of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Why not?
Good stuff. Well, if you could, please, if you wouldn't mind posting on your social media account, use the hashtag barbecue bingo, and we would love to then we'll repost and share that for you as well. Fantastic.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, it's one of our favourite things, actually, just seeing what people can come up with. Creative.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we love, to be honest. I mean, like I say, when we release something, we obviously have things in mind for that product, and then other people take that product and just flip it on its head.
Yeah, to the next level.
And it's like, people have done all sorts of crazy things with our products. I mean, Smoky Maze Barbecue did a leg of lamb, wrapped it in bacon, and used our barbecue rub on the bacon. We've had roasted sausage rolls, and each one had a different rub in it. Tone used in a bolognese, and then I can't remember who it was. Might have been Ramsey. They used the chili con carne, and that's things that we wouldn't have thought to do.
Yeah,
I've got an idea. Find it down.
Well, Grill and Ben, he had marmalade as his ingredient, and he, I think I might be right in saying this, Owen, is the only person who's gone full on. I'm going to do 3 or 4 different things. I'm going to use a full jar of marmalade, and he made a milkshake. He did like moinks in a sub. With like the marmalade as a glaze on there, and he also did some chicken drumsticks with like a marmalade glaze with sesame seeds on. And that's the point of barbecue bingo. We want to push people outside their comfort zone, even as far as scones, and just see what can be done on a barbecue. We want people to be trying different things. That's the point of this podcast. So I cannot wait to see what you do.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what you do.
Yeah,
I think you should do the scones, and then you should join in on the challenge and do a pizza.
Yeah, I'm all about that. It gives me a good excuse to get the Oni out. So I'm all for it.
Like a plan.
well,
great stuff. So obviously we've asked a lot of questions, and we found out about you guys, and really appreciate you both coming on the show and talking more about your own journeys, but obviously the journey of the business, which is obviously still very young, even though it doesn't feel that way. Is there anything that you kind of wanted to discuss with us? Not necessarily directly us as questions, but just things that you wanted to kind of talk about, around barbecue?
Yeah, I mean, I was quite interested to see how you guys ended up doing the podcast, because we'd sort of discussed, you know, when we sort of were starting, you know, to sort of try and get our name out there, we were sort of looking at, like, is there things like barbecue podcasts, barbecue shows, you know, things like that. Then obviously we clocked that the Sizzle Show was forming, and then obviously come across you guys, and you know, I think it's great. I was just wondering how you got into it, really.
There's two answers to this question. Owen, go first, because his is more the passionate side, and then mine's more the technical. So Owen, go first.
We're both obviously barbecue enthusiasts first and foremost, like most people that we'll talk to, and obviously like yourselves. We talk about it a lot. And you know, the official line is our wives got fed up of us talking to them about it, so we just used it as an excuse to talk to other people about it. But we both work in media. You know, we work for a media company, so we talk to lots of brands about lots of different things anyway. So it was a natural step for us to perhaps just enter into some media of our own. And Dan's done hospital radio before, so he's been a bit of a disc jockey. So it just felt very natural for us to do it, and yeah, that's kind of where we got to, really.
Yeah, and from a selfish point of view, as I mentioned, I've done a lot of hospital radio. I've worked for a radio station in the past and used to do live links. You know, if you listen to a radio station, you hear the people on the ground driving around, interviewing people like on the streets or giving away tickets. That was my job when I was at university. That was my part-time job. So I did that for 3 years and absolutely loved it. Loved doing it. And then all this mess kicked off, and I had no real way of doing that. But yet Owen and I were having these great conversations that I felt like people might be interested in. And if they're not interested in it, I'm still going to make sure we get them out there in some guise. And if we can learn on how to improve our craft in the same time, it felt like a no-brainer. And luckily for us, apparently some crazy people out there like to listen to whatever we're talking about.
It doesn't to us, actually. It doesn't matter if it's one person that downloads an episode or 100 people. We're doing it just to give something back and just talk to interesting people that have interesting stories.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, that is, like I say, that is one thing that I love about the barbecue community. Is one, everybody's so nice. Two, everyone's got a mutual interest. And three, like, people just want to see people. I find you don't really find this in many like sort of communities or things that people are interested in. Everyone is genuinely looking for everyone to do well, whether that be cooking, business wise, eventually like yourselves, where you're doing it, you know, you're doing what you're doing like more as, you know, like a hobby, and like because it's something you're interested in. I mean, that's what I love the most about the barbecue community, is everyone likes to see everyone do better.
Yeah. No ego.
Yeah, no ego. That's probably the word I was looking for. He's the brains, mate. I told you.
Oh, well, listen, I really appreciate both your time, and I hope we get the opportunity to meet. It'll be great.
Okay.
Lovely.
That's great.
Yeah.
Enjoy your weekend,
speaking
guys.
to you. Have a great one.
Yeah, and we'll show you our scone pizza.
Yes.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. That's it for another episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast. Thanks to Brendon and Jayden from the Lumberjaxe Food Co. It was really great to find out how they've turned their barbecue passion, passed down from their granddad, into a barbecue business. And they've only been on the scene for a few months, but I think they've got a big, bright future in the industry. You can find them on Instagram, Lumberjaxe Food Company, and their website is lumberjaxefoodcompany.co.uk. As ever, we would love to hear from you about what we can talk about on the podcast. We're really interested to know if we're doing exactly what you want us to do, or if there are any other topics around barbecue that you'd love us to discuss. So please get in contact with us through our website, which is meetandgreetbarbecuepodcast.com, all through our social media channels at Meet and Greet Barbecue Podcast. And please check out the Barbecue Bingo Challenge. We've set 2 challenges this week. So for the first time, we're doing a double barbecue bingo header. So find out what Jayden and Brendon both cook with their challenge. And until next week, keep on grilling.